All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another week of We're Doing Fine with Connor James. I had a great week last week, man. And ladies, of course. First off, let's get this thing started. It is Thanksgiving holiday weekend. And we're going to have to get it started off right. Had a very eventful weekend. And man, one of my buddies was working on his truck. And he said he was changing the transmission fluid. And I was like, what the hell are you doing that for? Can't you hire somebody to do it? But he wanted to save $300. And then, you know what it costed him? It costed him 3 vertebrae in his back. The jacks fell from underneath the bumper of the vehicle. And it broke his back. Luckily that he's built like an absolute Angus steer. And he didn't die or anything. But he had to be airlifted out of there. And I'm just glad he's all right, man. So apparently he was underneath. He had rolled his truck up on those rollers, or what do you call them? The ramps. So he rolled the front 2 tires on ramps, and it was sitting level. Then he jacked the back side up. So it was sitting up on the ramp like that. And then he jacked the back side up, so the truck's fully in the air. And he had 3 jacks he set on it. And then he was crawling out the back because he wanted to move one of the middle jacks towards the front for an extra precaution, I guess. And whenever he was getting out from underneath the back bumper, the jacks failed and smacked him on the back. And the truck fell on him. And he had to go to the hospital. Didn't have to have surgery. He fractured 3 of his vertebrae. But he's going to live. He's not paralyzed. Thank goodness. My gosh. I had just Snapchatted him too. I asked him to come over and hang out. And he was doing this first. And he sent me a picture of his truck and the situation it was in when it was on the jacks. And I sent him a snap back and I said, please don't die. Joking. And then I get a call from his wife about an hour and a half later. And I'm like, hey, what you doing? And she's freaking out. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened? Well, it's all right. He's going to be okay. He survived this one this time. And another thing, I realized, I'm recording with this camera here, and I'm trying this for the first time as well. So I had it directly plugged into the computer. That's how I would record, and it would just stream. And that's why the quality was kind of bad. I was wondering why I wasn't getting any good quality out of this camera. But when you hook it up to the computer and do USB streaming, it automatically sets it to 720p. And I had it set at 4K because this camera's supposed to be able to shoot in 4K. But that's not what I can do now. I unplugged it from the USB streaming and I have it on the SD card and it's coming straight from the camera. So it looks like a good picture so far. So I'm going to have to put that together. No guests this week. I'm going to have one next week. Pretty positive. And I had last week with Coach Doug, he came over and cooked a beef tongue and a roast, and we did a podcast, and it was awesome. We had a great time. He was here for a couple of hours. He brought me a whiskey barrel, a giant whiskey barrel that he built. And if you guys don't know, he made this whiskey barrel. Whiskey barrels, I had no idea. This thing is made of solid oak, and it's probably... it's every bit of 200, 300 pounds. It is so heavy. And we got out the back of his car. I don't even know how he loaded it. The man's 65, I don't know how he got it in the back of his car. Well, I helped him unload it and I put it in my carport. And I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. But thank you, Coach Doug, for that. And if you guys want a whiskey barrel, handmade with the whiskey shelves inside of it, and it's got a door that swings open, man, call Bordelon's Furniture and ask for Doug Guillory. He'll make you one. He sells them. He builds them. He'll customize it for you. It's awesome. So anyways, we had a great time on the podcast. I think I started drinking the whiskey a little bit too early because I went back when I was editing the podcast. I was back and listening to it, and I was like, "Oh Lord, I'm slurring my words," and I kept repeating myself. But another thing is, I wasn't trying to repeat myself. I don't believe. I was trying to follow a timeline, and he kept going super forward, like so fast through the timeline, and I wanted to take it one at a time. So I kept asking him to come back and say, "So you're here," and then I was getting confused. So but we had a great time anyways, man. He told us some stories. And if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. It's on YouTube and Spotify. And he was telling me stories, man. And I've been having all kinds of great feedback from people that know Coach Doug, were coached by him, that worked with him, grew up with him. Everybody loved the podcast. Hell, I'm even getting a Sacred Heart of Ville Platte High polo shipped to me from I believe he's the athletic director over there, Jacob Aguilard. So I appreciate that, man. Send it on over to me. I'll rep them Trojans. Maybe I'll wear it to alumni or something. He was telling me too, Coach Doug, man, that I need to go to the Smoked Meat Festival that's in Ville Platte or somewhere over there. But I'd love to go to the Smoked Meat Festival. He said, "Oh, it's the best food you're going to eat in your life." And, I wanted to go to the Cracklin Festival. I got to start going to those festivals, man, because there's so many that happen around here. I mean, there's like a festival every weekend or something. Probably not around Christmas time, but I'm sure there's something going on. They got all kinds of stuff going on. So I was in New Orleans last week. Some great restaurants. The whole week, pretty much. Went to we had a place called GW down there. And talk about knock your socks off. Got to try. That place was so good. Oh my Lord. That's probably the best New Orleans restaurant I've been to. And we were taking man, if you guys have used Uber before and you've never used Uber Black, highly recommend using Uber Black. Professional drivers that show up with a tuxedo and everything. They pull up in a blacked out Escalade like you're important or something. And we were using those, man. It was like $20 a piece. So that's what I'm going to use from now on. Hell, we went to GW Fins, and it's right off of Bourbon Street, not too far from where all of the stuff's going on. And we had these appetizers. It's basically a seafood restaurant. We had some great staff over there that were handling us. And I got the signature dish, man. It was like the flying snapper or something like that. They fry it like chicken, and then the fins like stick up like that in the air. And you just kind of hold it by the fin, and it comes with the skin on too, but the skin's fried. You can't even tell it's a skin. Oh, it's like a Asian kind of dish. And then they have this pasta that's like grilled into a cake, like a rice pasta cake or something. And oh my goodness, dude. One of the best meals I've ever had for sure. I'm not a huge seafood restaurant guy. I like fried shrimp and stuff like that, but like when I go to a nice restaurant, I don't order fish. Like that's not really my I like getting a steak, But I'm going back to this place. It was absolutely off the rails, 10 out of 10. That was a good place. And then I wanted to get my steak fix, and we went to Moro's Steak. Terrible, overpriced steak. Never going back there again. Do not recommend it. I thought it'd be a nice steak restaurant. It's more of like it's not even like a steak plate. I wouldn't consider this is like it looks like a cocktail bar. And they got a huge bar and little bitty tables with booths and stuff. It's not, it didn't feel like a restaurant. The atmosphere was like, they were playing like bumping music, And then the steak came out, dude. I had a $100 bone-in ribeye, and I was like, "Yeah, give me that medium rare." And they sent it out, and I had a customer with me, and they sent it out, and it was raw. I'm talking about seared on both sides, and not like red and bleeding. It was raw in the middle for about an inch thick. This is probably an inch and a half steak. And there's an inch of a raw in there. And I tried to, I'm not a guy to send my steak back. I am not. I do not like complaining, especially when I have a customer. But man, the steak was so big and I was ready to eat it. And I was like, I can't eat a raw steak. I mean, it was even hard to cut. So I sent it back and I was like, hey guys, I'm sorry. Please, can you send this back? I asked for medium rare. Let's just get it to where it's like medium. Okay, no problem. They come back maybe 3 or 4 minutes later. I'm like, well, that was quick. I hope you cooked it. She's like, I'm sorry, sir. Change the plate out. It was a brand new plate. It was a hot plate, and the steak was on there. And I cut into it again. I mean, it was the same exact thing, raw. I'm like, y'all didn't do anything. And I definitely wasn't about to send a steak back for the second time. I didn't want to, people get, some people get bad vibes when you send stuff back into the kitchen. I don't want to be that guy. And I was like, you know what? I'll just eat it. Whatever. This is a restaurant. This is where we're at. And it was not like prime cuts of beef either. It was ligaments in there. Like it wasn't easy to cut. And that had to do with it being raw too, but it was not easy to cut. And we had a nice waitress. She was super nice. She's like, you want me to send it back again? And I was like, no, I don't think y'all are going to help me out anyway. So nope, don't worry about it. So I just drank and whiskey and had the appetizers, which were fine. Macaroni, uh, some bread, some scallop potatoes or something. It was fine. It's hard to mess that up. But no, Moro's steak X'd off my list. I'm not going back over there. I really wanted to go try Desi Vegas. I've been wanting to try that place. That's right off of by the World War II museum, kind of. But New Orleans was cool. We had a good time over there, and then I got back Thursday night. Coach Doug drove down here. He lives in Youngsville, and he was excited, man. He was ready to come, and I was worried I'd be deadbeat tired, but it was good. We had a great time. He stayed, and we watched football and ate his beef tongue. Phew. If you ain't ever had beef tongue, you gotta have beef tongue. But yeah, I wanted to start the podcast. I didn't know how long it would take him. I thought he'd, get the beef tongue ready, and then usually when I'm cooking, I'll get it all ready. It takes me about 30 minutes or so, and then you like simmer it in a pot for like 2 hours when I cook a gravy. But he browned it for like an hour and a half. So me and him are just BSing. I'm making a cooking video about it. And I mean, I probably have 2 or 3 whiskey drinks. And then we get into the podcast. And I was just, we were just both having a good time. So apologize for that because, I don't like being hammered on the podcast. But we had such a good time that's what happened. So anyways. Like I said, it is Thanksgiving tomorrow. We just had a little Thanksgiving at work. Had a great time. I'm not eating too much of the same stuff. I'm gonna try not to. And look, let me tell you what I look forward to on Thanksgiving is family. I like seeing the family that I don't get to see but 2 or 3 times a year, mostly for funerals or Christmas. Maybe a birthday. Maybe they come watch me sing. Maybe a vacation. But we don't get to see most of the family too often. Everybody's starting to have kids now. We get to see all the new I don't know what you call those. Third cousins, fourth cousins. My sister had a baby. My niece. I'm an uncle. Her first Christmas and Thanksgiving this year. And I love when we get together. Look, I look forward to it. It's like a game day. We get up in the morning. I went and picked up a case of Wycliffe champagne. You wake up in the morning, you make mimosas. Everybody gets dressed a little nice. Everybody's trying to feel the room out, see how everybody's been doing. How's your new job and all that. Have a couple lubrication drinks. You turn on the football game, the Macy's Day Parade, and then you try, the little appetizers everybody's bringing. It's like, oh, you did that. Oh, and then, We're sitting on the couch. We eat at like 11, 11:30, and the day's over with by 2 o'clock. And you got to see everybody. Everybody's laughing. And then we go play with the cows and whatnot. We always do Thanksgiving at my parents' house, and we always do Christmas at my aunt's house. So it's a good trade off. And that's what I love about Thanksgiving. I think I might like Thanksgiving more than Christmas because we get to do it over here and hang out all day, see each other, and catch up. And I love that. Couple more things we should be finding out this week. Will Lane Kiffin be the next LSU head coach? I believe he is going to be. I mean, the rumors have astounded. He's a big troll. But Lane Kiffin, man, they might fire him before the Egg Bowl. And the Egg Bowl is, Ole Miss versus Mississippi State. And he might not even make it to the Egg Bowl. I think he's going to be LSU's next coach. We're hearing rumors about, I saw him buy a house. He's got a house over here in Baton Rouge already. That's what I'm talking about, Lane. It's time. It's time. It's going to be great, guys. We have a new era. Brian Kelly and his trash son that ran out on the field he looked like one of them guys that ran out. And then he pulls his shirt down and it says BK on it, free BK on it. And he's yelling in the mic, free my boy BK. Who calls their dad who calls their dad my boy? Free my boy. And what are you talking about, free my boy? That man just walked away with $54 million. You played 4 games in the 4 years you were here. Let's not make a scene. We're lucky we let you on the field for senior night. We're lucky we let your mom through the gates, okay? So don't give me none of that free my boy BK. You have generational wealth you just accumulated, okay? Kenzel Kelly. Lord have mercy. Next thing you know, he's going to move back to wherever they're from and sell insurance like the rest of them. But for Thanksgiving, anyways, don't mean to be ungrateful or anything. Love you, Kenzel Kelly. Not really. But don't be a jerk. Don't be a asswipe. That's what you were being. And tomorrow for Thanksgiving, I have this special thing. So whenever we were at the New Orleans trade show, they were passing out we went to this little welcoming event, and they're passing, people walking around giving you little appetizers and stuff like that. And they gave me, they're passing around these little cups, these little pastry cups, and they were stuffed with something. They were, little perfect little bite things. And I was trying to think about what I wanted to make for Thanksgiving. I wanted to do something just a little special or something a little different, something that not everybody makes. So what I'm going to do, and I went and bought them today, got me some boudin, some smoked boudin from one of my favorite smoked boudin places, Juno's in Irwinville. I got some cream cheese, and I got some sliced, diced jalapenos. I'm going to put that all in a bowl, mix it all together, cream cheese, boudin, jalapenos. I'm going to stuff those little pastry cups with it, and then I'm going to throw that in the oven, and I'll bring it over tomorrow. They ought to love that. I think that's going to be cool. Because, Karshner's, the boudin place in Krotz Springs, they make the egg rolls and the boudin balls with pepper jack, with cream cheese and jalapenos. And I was like, man, this would be perfect for that. So I'm going to try it out. I'll make a little video for it, and I'll let you know how it goes. Unfortunately, my internet is not working at my house because I was trying to see the news today, what we have going on. Here we go. I got one for you. Volcano erupts for the first time in 12,000 years. Where in the world is this at? Ethiopia. The first time in 12,000 years, the Toulouse Volcanic Ash Advisory Center, Haile Gubbi volcano, located in Ethiopia's Afar region, about 500 miles northeast of Addis Ababa, near the Eritrean border, erupted Sunday for several hours. The volcano rose to about 1,500 feet This says 1,500 feet yards in altitude. Ash clouds from the volcano drifted over Yemen, Oman, India, and northern Pakistan. Man, a volcano going off? Couldn't that like ruin like half a population? I wonder how epic a volcano is when it's coming out. Like we're just waiting on Yellowstones till we erupt one day. There's actually, I went to school, in Jackson, Mississippi for my first year of college at Belhaven. And the Mississippi Coliseum is built, there used to be a volcano right there. And it's inactive. It's probably been inactive for thousands of years. But there is a volcano. It's built on a fault line where the volcano used to be in Jackson, Mississippi. And one day, that volcano could just erupt. If you've never driven through Jackson, it's the worst. It's the worst roads in the entire world. The roads are like monsters. I mean, if you go to Belhaven, you know exactly what I'm talking about, or Millsaps. I forget what road that's called. It starts with the F, like Fornification Street or something like that. But it's the back road that's like behind Belhaven, and it leads to Mississippi College. Millsaps. Dude, you can't even drive on one side of the highway. If you're going like westbound, I think it is west or northbound. One time, one of my we were partying, and one of my friends was drunk driving his truck back, and he had. I heard this story the next day, and he had like some of these people in his car. The road was so bad. He got in the other lane of opposite traffic, crossed the median, and drove in the other lane to go back to campus because the road going the correct driveway and direction, that road was so bad. He drove in the opposite direction with oncoming traffic. There was no traffic coming, but that's how bad it is. One time at Belhaven, when I had first gotten over there, the weight room has the road that goes all the way around the school. So it's right by the football practice field, the football field. And one time we were in the weight room, and we were doing like fall ball practice or something. And we come outside after the weights, and there is a car that was parked when we went inside. And this car now is gone in the ground, a sinkhole, just collapsed. Whole car sticking out. The only thing you could see is the bumper sticking out. I mean, imagine if you were in the car when that happened. So yeah, you just built. I mean, Jackson is built on a fault line, and that's why the roads are just trash roads, trash roads. And I don't miss it at all. I went to Jackson not long ago, and it still looks exactly the same. I went and passed to Smith Wills Stadium. Nothing's changed. It did change a little bit. They repainted the outside. It's now red and blue. But used to love Jackson. I don't think I ever really loved Jackson. So this week, I wanted to talk about vacations. Why not? Favorite vacations. Some vacations that I took, man. When we first started going on vacations, I remember my dad and my mom, we had an RV and we would drive it all over the place. That was kind of a big thing back in the early 2000s, was an RV. People liked doing that. And we would take RVs to like San Antonio, go to Schlitterbahn, go to Nashville, go to the beach, and you just stay in the camper. And when you have 3 kids, it's probably a lot easier than getting a hotel room. And my brother used to always get the hives. We thought he was allergic to kiwi or strawberry, kiwi or strawberry. But every time he had something with kiwi on it, he'd get the hives. We'd have to bring him to the hospital. And then I think he was just being dramatic. But, that's my early vacations I remember taking. Just rarely, though. I mean, we used to always go to Orange Beach. And now we have a place over there. Same place where we'd go vacation is the Caribe Resort. That's an awesome place. My brother tried drowning me over there. He couldn't swim, and he was a little fat kid. So was I. And we were in like 5 foot of water. And he jumped off of the steps to get in the water with me, jumped on my head. And I couldn't get around him because I was like 5 and he's like 3 or 2 or 3. I don't know. I was probably 6 or 7. He was probably 3 or 4. Jumped on top of me. He's clawing at my head, trying to stand on top of me because he can't swim. And then I'm like dying in the water because I can't touch the bottom. And he's just killing me from the top. And my mom had to jump in the water and then put us both on her lap. She's like, y'all can't do that. And I'm like, my brother just tried to kill me. So I remember stuff like that. And never got to go. Well, for vacations for like Thanksgiving and Christmas, we always stayed at home. So our vacations would always usually be around the summertime. We used to always have to travel with my dad to these conventions in Nashville, and we'd stay at like this place that's close to Nashville or in Nashville. It's like a fully enclosed resort. So when I was a kid, this all stuff looked huge. It was like a mini city. That's how all I remember it as. But I think it's called like the Gaylord something. And we'd go in there, man, and there'd just be trees inside, palm trees that go to the ceilings. They made it look like a small little town, like you're walking through, and they like made fake walls and they make fake roads that you'd walk through. This is what I'm remembering. But we'd go get ice. We'd walk down the little cobblestone, go get ice cream, and go to little stores while my dad was working or whatever. And I loved that place. I think we went there 2 or 3 times. And I remember it being a far drive. But that was an awesome, awesome place. And it was, man, yeah, I forget what it was called. I think it was the Gaylord in Nashville. Let me look it up real quick. The Gaylord Opry. Is that it? That is it. Oh, yeah. Well, it is a lot bigger than I remember. You need to look this up on your phone if you don't know what I'm talking about. Wow. That's actually incredible. I don't really remember this. But like I said, when you look at it, they had a giant fountain in the middle, and it's like a small city inside of this place while everybody's on vacation. And I think they got little shopping centers in there. You could walk around and do stuff, restaurants. And they got Christmas lights, it looks like, around Christmas time. And they dress it up really nice. And, now, like, vacations for... one thing I do like is Christmas lights, man. We always go do this one show that's in the Woodlands, Texas. And it's always at Christmas time. I love going to a hotel that's got all the we go to the nice Marriott down there, the Marriott Waterway. And they always got, 40 Christmas trees everywhere. The shopping center it's right next to. Christmas trees everywhere. Christmas lights everywhere. It's just a good feeling, Christmas. It's like, man, it's like home. Everything's like a movie. It's like, this can't be a bad day. Look at all this pretty stuff out here. And it truly is. It's I love Christmas. I want to go when I start a family, I want to go to like Gatlinburg. I want to go to like Colorado, go skiing. I'm not sure if I can go skiing because of my knee. I tore my knee a couple of times playing sports. So I'm not sure if I'm built to go skiing, but I'd go just to go and cook. I'll watch y'all ski, go down the little bunny slopes. Maybe somebody could pull me in a wagon and I can go down the little bunny slopes. That'd be awesome. And yeah, I want to go skiing. I want to go to New York. I want to go see the New York. I thought about last year going to New York, and man, I think there was a flight from New York round trip flight from New York back to New Orleans, or New Orleans to New York and back. The round trip was like $180. And I mean, I still might go this year. I don't know. But I want to go for a weekend and go see the town. I've never been to New York and walked around. And it's got to be cool. I don't know if I want to go now since Mom Donnie's over there. But it still ought to be pretty. For a vacation next year, I always go watch LSU baseball. They do an opening tournament. Me and a couple of my friends, we always go and follow. We've been doing this for probably 5 years now, but we go watch LSU baseball. They have an opening tournament usually, and it's been in Houston a couple times. It's been in Dallas a couple of times. Uh, Austin, Texas, Round Rock, and this year it's going to be in Jacksonville, Florida, which is interesting. It's a new part of this peak events thing, but it's in Jacksonville. I thought it was going to be in Round Rock again, but I'm glad. Look, somewhere new. I've never really been to Jacksonville. I think I've driven through it before. But I'm going to Jacksonville, Florida. So if you guys are going to follow LSU baseball for the opening tournament, they play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm going to get over there Thursday, and we're going to watch the Friday game, the Saturday game, then fly home Sunday. But that's always a good time, man. Every year we go do that. First time we went and watched them, it was like the Shriners Classic in Houston. And it's awesome because Houston is right there. All the hotels are right there. You can walk to the stadium. All the LSU people, we all have a tailgate usually most of the time. Like people are cooking outside. They go put it on like Facebook. You find out what's going on because everybody says, hey, we're going to be at this bar. So we go over there before the game starts. And there's like 500-600 LSU fans. And everybody, like you find somebody that you know. It's such a good time. Then everybody walks to the stadium. Then everybody walks back home. It's like the safest thing ever. Then we all go out and do it again for 2 days. And it's really cool. We went to Austin too. It was actually in Round Rock, but the first night we stayed in Austin because we had never been to Austin to go out and about. And I had just bought this truck, man. It was a beautiful truck. This was a couple years ago. I had a King Ranch F-250, and we were staying right on 6th Street. And I thought I could be able to park my truck in the garage. And then they had this giant jacked up truck that was parked right by the doors. So whenever I pull up over there, I get out and I tell the guy, hey, can you park it for me? Yeah, sure thing. So he takes it from me. And then I said, all right, we go to dinner. And then I get in my room probably about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And then they called me and they said, hey, we can't take your truck. It's too big to put in the garage. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, we're going to have to put it out just outside the hotel, like parked along the street. And I'm like, God dang it, dude. I mean, I don't want that happening because my luck with trucks is terrible. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I don't have a choice, do I? I'm like, the truck will fit, I promise. Like I didn't have a lift on it or anything. No, sir, we can't fit it in there. Okay. I was like, you want me to come down there and park it for you? Well, anyways, I settled and I said, go ahead, take the truck. And I on the Ford Pass, they have the Ford Pass app on your truck. You can lock your truck, unlock your truck, start your truck, see where your truck is, and turn it on, turn it off, whatever. So I randomly woke up at like 4 in the morning and I checked my phone and I had a notification from the Ford app. And this was like, the Ford app was brand new. So there wasn't all kinds of tech stuff going on. You could just do basic stuff like that. And I had a notification and it said alarm was set off. And it said like 3:30 or 3:20 in the morning. So just like 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago. And I hopped up out the bed. I put on my clothes down. I ran downstairs and I went to the bellhop guy and I said, hey, where's my truck? Did you hear an alarm going off? No, I didn't hear an alarm going off. I said, okay, keys to my truck. Where is it? It's parked right over there. I'll go walk over there. Sure enough, my lights are blinking on the truck. I'm like, God dang. I thought that was my truck alarm going off. I don't know. You heard that. I thought somebody was breaking into my truck. But anyways, that made my heart sink. So anyways, I I go outside. I run to my truck. I'm barefoot at 4 in the morning. Go to my truck. Lights are blinking. And I'm like, and this guy's got to be close, you know? I didn't have anything in my truck because it was brand new. I just gotten it, so I didn't have anything in it. I brought my buddy some presents. That's all there was, like some picture frames, like old beer picture frames, like mirrored glass pictures. Um, my truck was unlocked. Nothing was in there. I mean, he didn't have the keys or anything. They didn't break a window. Um, they left the picture frames in the back. I had a big old cup of change that I keep in my truck, and didn't even take that. They didn't take anything. Thank goodness. But man, one thing he did do, he broke my driver door handle on my driver's door. And I was like, God dang it, dude. You had to do that. So I had to bring it to a Ford place because the door wouldn't lock anymore. So now my truck is just open. Brought it to a Ford place. They told me like, oh, that's going to be like $2,000, something like that. And I'm like, perfect. Perfect for a little door handle. And anyways, that was our first night in Austin. And then we went to Round Rock. I've never been to Round Rock before. And that's a quaint little city, little town. And I think my buddy's wife was pregnant at the time. So we were having to kind of deal with that. And we weren't out too long. And, you know, we had a lot of times where they had to leave because they were sick. She was sick. But we still had a good time. I liked Round Rock. It was kind of like an old farm, like one of those Hallmark movies you see. It was like old timey. They had some cool Western stores. I bought some cool Western shirts. Got my hat refitted with the steam machine and all that. I brought my cowboy hat. And it was a cool place, man. That old stadium they play at over there. That's when Paul Skeens was pitching. It was his first year this was championship year when they won the championship. And that was like one of the only games we lost. They were playing Iowa. And that other guy from Iowa was throwing 90, 99 too. Like he was like the second best pitcher in America. And luckily, you know, I hate Florida. I hate February baseball. But luckily we had bought the tickets that had the suite access so we can go in and out. Man, it was like 38 degrees and misting rain. So we spent most of the time up in the suite watching the game from the suite and drinking margaritas that were $20 a piece. And we were there for probably 4 hours. So that was a good time. And then after that, we went to Frisco, Texas, which was a little north of Dallas. Frisco, Texas was awesome. It was pretty cool. Got to see, it's like right by the Dallas Cowboys practice facility. And they had a King Ranch store in there. Bought me some stuff in there. I love the King Ranch store. Hey, if you ever go to the King Ranch store, go buy you an air freshener. It smells just like leather. We actually stayed in an Airbnb this time. And I don't know if an Airbnb is the way to go. Maybe in Frisco, Texas, because there wasn't any like near hotels. So maybe Frisco's the way to go. Airbnb is the way to go for a hotel. And we stayed in this little 3-bedroom Airbnb. We had like 7 or 8 of us there. And we had Uber to everything. That was the worst part. And then we had a little infant with us because she was pregnant the year before. And then this year she wasn't pregnant. She had the baby. And they decided to bring it. And it was probably, it was like a 3-4 month old baby. But it was fine. We had a great time over there. And then LSU won the tournament. Paul Skeens, that was last year. Did Paul Skeens? He didn't pitch last year. So, yeah, that was great. We got to see him win. They won the national championship this year. And now the vacation will be taking place in Jacksonville, Florida. And I'm looking forward to that. I just booked my hotel, my flight. And it looks like it's going to be a hotel, not an Airbnb this time. So we're going to be staying close to the field, walking distance. And I am looking forward to walking the streets in Jacksonville. LSU travel is just so great. You know, I love being part of the fan base. All travel great. It's always a good time. We go to the bars. Everybody's at the bars. You'll find somebody that you know anywhere you go. Somebody that knows somebody. But That's like my vacations I always go on. Plus, go to the beach pretty much like every year. We try and make it a. I try to make it a plan to get all of our friends I don't get to see at least once a year. We go to the beach, 10 of us or whatever. And then we just go for a week. We just don't think about anything for a week and we just drink. And dude, this year, whenever we went to the beach, I don't know what we had gotten there on a Saturday. We were going to do we usually do Saturday to Saturday. And this year, man, I think I was out. I got sunburnt. Not bad, just barely sunburnt every day. Every day. I mean, we were in the sun from 9 in the morning to 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And I did that 3 days in a row. And then on the fourth or fifth day, we were supposed to go play golf at Kiva Dunes. And we did. We went to go play, but it's like I felt a little hungover and I was hot because I was sunburnt, dude. The day before, we were in the lazy river all day. All day. And I had a scare, dude. I thought I was going to die on the golf course. I really thought I was going to die. So I wasn't feeling too bad when I woke up. Felt pretty much normal like every single day. I drink my routine was I'd drink a couple of waters and then I have to have my coffee. So I drink a couple of cups of coffee, keep drinking some waters, and start drinking about 10 or 11. And our tea time was like 9:30 or so. So maybe I didn't get to drink too many waters this morning. But woke up at like 6, started the day, drank some coffee, drank some water. We drove to Kiva Dunes, gorgeous facility. We tee off. It's going good. It doesn't feel too bad. Now it's like 10:30 in the morning. Sun's out. No wind. It's probably 100 degrees. Dude, and I start getting hot. And I'm like, whew, I'm hungover, buddy. I'm hungover. And there's like 3 of us playing. And dude, it's like $170 a round of golf. So I wanted to play it. But if we weren't playing good, I wasn't playing good. And we get to hole like 8 or 9. And I'm starting to like, oh man, I need to stop drinking right now. And I had like maybe 1 cranberry vodka. And I was like, I need to drink some waters. So I started drinking some water. And we're still playing, and that's just bad. There's no wind. And I'm like struggling. I'm starting to not want to play anymore. And then we get to there was no turn. Usually at the 9th hole, you're right by the clubhouse. But this one, you're out there. So you have to drive all the way to clubhouse if you want to go back. And I mean, it's so bad to where I told the guys, I said, y'all play the 9th hole. Let me go grab some water and get a rag put around my neck. And I'm sitting there doing that. And they're like, we just did 2 hours doing that. And I don't know if I could do another 2 hours on the back 9. And like, I'm sitting there in the cart and now it like hits me. I'm like, oh no, I need to go in the AC. I don't feel good. So I go in the inside. I tell them, hey, y'all just go finish. I'll come back and catch up. Let me just go get some AC real quick. So I went inside and I sat, and dude, now it's starting to like hurt. It's starting to really ramp up. I'm getting the shakes. I'm starting to cramp up a little bit. Like I'm so hot that I'm shaking, but I'm like, I've lost my sweat or something. And I'm starting to get nervous too. And I'm sitting trying to keep my calm, but I'm like, oh no, I don't feel good. I'm shaking. I've got the goosebumps. I'm hot. I'm overheated. I can't drink water. I can't drink enough water. I feel like I'm going to throw up. I'm weak. I'm so weak that I can't move. And this is all happening quick. And this has never happened to me before. And dude, I'm sitting at the bar and the lady's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I don't know if I'm okay. I might be having a heat stroke." I was like, she's like, "I don't think you're having a heat stroke." And I was fine. Like I wasn't losing in and out of it. And there were some sheriff's deputies sitting behind me. And I was kind of looking at him. She's like, you want me to ask them to get help? Or I said, I don't really know what I need to do. I don't feel good. I think I'm going to pass out. And they came up, they were eating lunch, and they came and talked to me, and they said, what's going on? And they're checking my pulse, and they're like touching me, and they're like, well, you look good. You got your color and everything. You look all right. And I'm like, guys, I don't feel good. I'm not in a good place right now. And they said, well, you want me to we can call a ambulance to come get you. And I don't want to be dramatic. I'm like, I don't know if I need an ambulance. I don't think I do. And she's like, well, look, just sit here for another 2 hours and just sit here until you feel better. Just keep drinking water. And I had these nice ladies bringing me IVs and Gatorades and like liquid IVs. And it was probably up until they came back after they finished the back nine, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And I finally felt a little bit better. But dude, whenever we got up to leave, I was weak. I couldn't move. My hands, everything was tingling in my body. All my fingertips, my legs. I was having like a full body shock. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, man, I needed like an IV drip or something. So I said, well, let's just go back. Maybe I need to go to sleep and we'll just sleep it off, call it an evening. And went back to the hotel, to the condo, and just sitting down, laying down. I have like pins and needles all over my body. I can't sleep. The whole night was like this. I'm overheated and hot and cold at the same time. It was the worst sleep ever. The next day I go to the urgent care. They run all these tests on me. They say, you're hydrated, nothing's wrong. I'm like, something's wrong. Well, apparently my electrolytes were thrown off from being dehydrated, and just took a while. So we ended up going home that day, actually. And the urgent care wouldn't give me a freaking IV. And don't go to the urgent care. If you need, I should have went to the emergency room just to go get some IV the first time I did that. But it probably saved me some money from an ambulance ride. But hey, I think that was the closest I've ever been from heat stroke. And I'm glad I didn't have a heat stroke. But damn it, that was the closest I've ever been to a heat stroke. And I don't even know to this day what that was. But I tell you, I didn't drink for 2 weeks after that. I'm just kidding. I probably did a couple of days later. But I was fine. It took a while to get back to use. I couldn't stand the heat for a while. I'd go outside and start doing something, and I'd start feeling bad quick, really hot. But hey, that was a great vacation we had. What's your favorite thing to do on vacation? Man, people call it cliche, but whenever you're working all year and you don't really get to go on vacation, I don't care if I just go sit by the pool for 6 hours and drink and listen to music. I don't care if I go sit in a chair at the beach for 4 or 5 hours or all day. That's what I want to do. I mean, that's my favorite thing to do. Go ride on a boat. I don't have to do anything as long as I'm not at work. You know what I mean? But it's not like work's that bad. But love a good vacation. I like going to see new places, do different things. I don't want to have like the same vacation all the time. Like I'd like to go to California for vacation, or like Oregon. I really want to go to Colorado. That's really next. Colorado or New York is next on the list. That's where I want to go. Might even go. I do have a vacation plan for the Bahamas next year. We're going to go for a week over there. That ought to be cool. Go see the pigs, scratch little pigs' bellies, and see that clear water. My parents went last year, and they were like, y'all got to come next year. So we're going to go next year. And man, everything's apparently like, it has to be imported to the Bahamas because it's an island. There ain't nothing going on over there. So everything's, tariffs and everything. It's going to be like triple the price. They don't really have restaurants or good restaurants, not many of them, because it's a very small island. So a lot of the people go to the stores and they cook. They're like a bag of potato chips is like $10, like a case of beer is probably $40 over there. Because they got to ship all this stuff on boats and airplanes to get on the port. But still, this is the prettiest place I've ever seen. So I'm looking forward to the Bahamas trip. I'm looking forward to the Jacksonville trip. It's going to be really cool. Um, I have some guys lined up to come on the podcast. I think I'm still working on the editing, man. It's tough. I'm sorry for the poor quality. The end of that last video was it just fizzed out on me. I don't even know what happened. The audio just shit the bed, and it's going to be a good one. So I'm going to have Clay Cormier on next week or the week after. I'm going to have an LSU baseball player on, maybe two of them. But we have a great thing. I see my camera looks like it's about to die. So before we do that, I will see you guys soon. We're doing fine. Sorry it was a short one. Guys, leave a like. Thank you for liking it. Thank you for sharing it. Continue to do so. I appreciate all of y'all. We're doing fine with Connor James. I'll see y'all next week. Thank you.